Hello, dear friends. Here we are at Kardec Radio with you, enjoying one more day in 21 days of spiritual awakening. We are here together with you to study a book that is already in English but not published yet, soon to be transmitted to the publisher. And we are here to read and study the book Voltei, I Am Back, by Brother Jacob through the medium Chico Xavier. This book was published through the Spiritist Society, the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, and now we have the book at hand in English thanks to the efforts of a beautiful team, Carlos Diaz, Shane Martin, and also Evelyn Nunes. This book provides to us unique description about many things, but most important, it's a therapeutic teaching. It's a teaching that really boosts the inner. It boosts our inner transformation. That's the goal, right? What is a good spiritist? The good spiritist is the one that makes effort to transform and tame the bad tendencies. So, thank God he didn't say the good spiritist is perfect, because nobody would be but Jesus. Alright? And here we have our beautiful Carol Correa, Mark Smith, and we just finished our God at Home meeting. And we read a message that goes hand in hand by Emmanuel, talking about the importance of being awake, and being awake means doing good works. It's not about talks, it's not about blah blah blah, though we're talking here, but we're sharing, right? We are sharing, we're building new understanding, we're together here to build this sense of community. As Emma Bragdon said, it's this fraternal feeling, this peer support, telling each other that we're on the same boat. We know the pains of growing up, but we know the joy of achieving higher levels in our spiritual ascension. And we know it's all about the inner. The outer achievements, they don't mean anything if we don't do it out of love, out of pure joy. If people ask you, why are you doing these works of good, whatever good work you're doing, you say, because it's the right thing to do, right? Yeah? I don't need to be interrogated for doing the right. We only interrogate when people are doing the wrong, and we're seeing a lot of that lately. Am I right? Yeah, unfortunately. And when we do the good, there's no question. There's no interrogation. There's just like, just because. That's the answer. Family members come to you like, why are you going to spend your Sunday doing this? Well, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? There's no explanation. That's because we're following God's will. We're practicing to awaken once and for all to follow God's will. God's will. What is God's will? We need to practice. Practice. Like, for example, when you go out and you ask yourself, am I going out because I need to do something? Or because I'm running away from my inner encounter? Does God want me to spend my energy driving to a mall and just walking, like wandering in a mall? I don't think so, right? We could do something better. So we need to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Is this something that is supported by God's will? Or is it something that I'm doing out of my own will, deviating from the pathway. Little things that we do every day will make a huge impact. As we sum the minutes of our lives, we'll see how many of those wasted minutes could have been put together for good works and for helping other people who are in need. Right? Right, Valéria Benfica, who is here with us. It's a beautiful community of love and brotherhood. Right, Valéria? And Adilson, my brother Adilson. It's always good to have you here. Edinalda, how are you? I hope you're doing well. And I think it's first time we're seeing each other here, right, Edinalda? Andrea Torres, my beautiful sister, how are you? Karina, facing the challenges. But you know, Karina, this is the way to go. You know it. Sunshine, we need your help. And ideas are coming up. We'll share, right? So, how are you, Sol? Rihanna, how are you, Rihanna? Congrats to your diligence, my friend. Thank you for being with us and stimulating us to being here. Danny, my cousin, and Erica. Danny. And here we have our beautiful Leia Severo, beloved sister of the heart. We have here our Ceisa, beautiful smile that you have, Ceisa. I love it. Margaret, we've missed you. Welcome back. Paula, welcome, Paula. Right on, Paula. Good to see you here. Valéria Toledo, from our sister center in Mount Vernon, just turned 10 years. What a blessing. Congratulations, my friend, for the beautiful devotion. You, Adriano, Fred, and many others. Right? Luciana Antoine. Here we are, friends. We're here. Yara Gouveia is with us. It's good to have you here, Yara. Right? And Pearl is here with us as well. So here we are. Remember Brother Jacob, right? He was Fred Figner, an immigrant. Right, Teresa Castro? All right. So, thank you, Teresa. We're going to fix that. Thank you. She's sending books to the group in Africa, South Africa, and we're going to ship it to them. Thank you. So if you want to send books to South Africa, Spiritist Books, go to cardiacradio.com. We have a form, fill it out. And not a form, you just mail it to us, or you send a monetary donation. Breathing in and out, setting ourselves. We know we're not alone. That's exactly what Brother Jacob is going to say. Brother Jacob is the pseudonym of the name Frederico Figner, a Jewish man who migrated to Brazil. First passing by United States, he met Thomas Edison, and he was born in the Czech Republic and then moved to Brazil and spent there his whole life until he discarnated in 1947. And living a quite long life, 80 years of age, he had a big impact in the music industry. He was responsible for bringing the phonogram and many other things, boosting and creating the first recording company in Brazil, etc. He became a spiritist, and he became also very devoted to the spiritist practice. He was not a medium, but he participated in mediumistic meetings as a spirit counselor. Beautiful work, so important. And Brother Jacob then, after discarnated, was given permission to write through Chico Xavier and bring to us the teachings. In these teachings, he reveals unexpected things. For example, in this very chapter, he finally transposes with a group led by Dr. Bezerra de Menezes the bridge. He's there. He arrives on the other side in the spirit colony, and he says, what would it be of the human existence if all individuals kept with them the certainty that they live surrounded by a cloud of witnesses? How would the person act in their homes, in their social circles, if they were convinced that friends and loved ones await them in another home? How about us thinking of this? Right, Felipe and Justina, welcome friends. What about us? Think about it right now. It's as if, there is a baby monitor and the parents are watching the kid. Hopefully. But in this case, the higher spirits, the ones who love us, they are monitoring us. They are making sure we're well. They are following us through. They are helping us. How often do you, during your day, in a 24-hour day, how often do you think, oh, I have spiritual friends who know what I'm going through? They know the pains I'm going through. They know the challenges I'm going through. How about if I make it easy for them to manifest their help? Because it's fair that it's not cheating. Do you think when they help us we're cheating in life? And you know what I mean when I say cheating, like in an exam? No. They're helping us doesn't mean we're not gonna do our part. It means we're supposed to facilitate their part too, because for God, the spirit guides, the guardian angels, they have a task to be fulfilled. And we don't want to make their lives harder, do we? No. So then what do? Sing. Guardian angel. I'm joking with you, but this is a song we teach to babies and toddlers at the Spirit Society of Virginia. Guardian angel, here I am, calling for your help, calling for your love. I am ready, guardian angel. We should teach ourselves this too. Calling for your help. And then we have a number. Remember the other day, Teresa Castro, when we gave the WhatsApp of the guardian angel? What was it? Who remembers? Who remembers the WhatsApp number of the guardian angel? What is it? Right, Sarita? H E-A-R-T. Heart. It's in your heart. There's a phone in our hearts, as the gospel, thank you, Teresa, the gospel according to Spiritism says. Communication with God. Our prayers are communication with the higher spirits, with God. But how often during your days, my day, I realize Mentor Joseph knows what I'm going through? Right, Mentor Joseph? Come on in, please tell me. Any tip? Any insight? That's the conversation. Can you please lead me? Can you tutor me in this pathway? That is precisely what we need to ask. And our beautiful, right, Sarita? Welcome, Selena. So here we have, he says, insecure traveler As an insecure traveler, we prefer uncertain itineraries. The incarnated spirit almost never remembers that he is a simple guest that is being received here. Yes, we don't. These thoughts assaulted my brain in the face of the friends who embraced us warmly. As Brother Jacob said, let me go to the drawing so you recall. And if you're here for the first time, you can catch up, okay? Yes, Sarita, mind, body, and soul. I'm going to show you the picture where we stopped last night when we were studying this. If you're listening to this on demand at Kardec Radio, remember, it's okay. You can always go to Facebook page of Kardec Radio or the YouTube and see the pictures, because these drawings were beautifully put together by Américo Sucena, a spiritist man in Brazil, and a group of designers named Projeto Imagem. You can buy the slides and use them like we bought them from these professional designers, and here we have these beautiful drawings portraying the passages. You ready? Let me show it to you where we were. This is the bridge. Remember, they are transposing the lower zones through a bridge to an illuminated place where they are received. Look at this picture. They are received by many friends. What a joy. Right, Elisângela? What a joy. Imagine you being received like, welcome, Elisângela, you made it. Welcome, Sarita. Welcome, Selena. Welcome, Teresa. Imagine all of us there. And the friends, we forgot they exist, and they are the good friends. They're, you know, they're beyond imagination, right? Okay. So here we have, and okay, change it. Sorry, friends. Okay, here we have, and thank you, Mark and Carol, for showing to us that our stream needs to be boosted again. Okay, so here we have it. These thoughts assaulted my brain. None of us who made that crossing for the first time after lingering in the flesh was orphaned by tears of happiness. The outbursts of affection with which we were received made me believe in entering paradise. And we know this is just a colony. It's not exactly paradise. It doesn't exist. It's a colony where people are making efforts to make good choices. How often do you tell your kids, you were born to make good choices? And tell yourself every day, this day I'm going to make healthy choices. Not only eating, exercising, and sleeping, but healthy choices of love, kindness, fraternity, investing on the good, right? Yes. So, in a different landscape, so he says the landscape changed so much after the long bridge. The almost absolute darkness had been left behind, and the nocturnal atmosphere had become lighter, clearer. The air had become impregnated with subtle perfumes. Moving on our side, the friends who were waiting for us beyond the cliff sang songs of joy. You see, they sing too. No, we're not crazy. Actually, we're vibrating beings. We're moving songs in this universe. Did you know it? We vibrate. And what instruments are? What is our vocal cords but an instrument that vibrates? When we're singing, we're vibrating. And when we're thinking, we're vibrating. When we're speaking, we're vibrating. When we're taking action, we're vibrating. So when we're feeling, we're vibrating. So how about vibrating to the good? to the good. Right, Angelita? Welcome, Angelita. And we always remind, when Angelita, Lea Severo are here, fraternitywithoutborders.org. When you help this organization, you're helping children and families who have nothing. You know nothing? No, we don't. They have nothing. So help, let's help, 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 help. So he says that many of the companions, they held torches in their light, and we could see their faces illuminated and happy. That's why it's good to read this, to visualize it. There will be a day on the earth when we're going to be just like this. It's all welcoming. There is no acidity. Everything is so pro-joy, pro-fraternity. There's no impediment, no obstacle. Right? We are energy. Sarita is saying energy in a different frequency. Hello, Rita. Welcome, my friend Rita from Tampa. Right? Happy birthday. I know it was your birthday recently. Okay? Right. And now imagine this. Imagine, my friends. When you and I, we go and, like, for example, like Ceisa is doing, giving flowers to everyone here. This is an action that we find in these colonies here. Thank you, Ceisa. As Joana de Angelis says, flowers are the signature of God. Okay? So, flying over their evolution was more pleasant, faster. The road that they were traveling had lots of flowers, carved in radiant substance, which made the landscape a copy of the firmament. Nearby trees seemed covered with stars. Picture the good. Visualize the good. That's exactly what he's teaching us. Listening to the soft melodies that drifted away, carried away by the cool wind that blew lightly on our faces, I would not express in any way the emotion that dominated me. To which country had I been caught up in death? Had earth ascended to heaven, or had heaven come down to earth? Right, Ivana? Thank you, Rita. In truth, the unquenchable desire to sleep, deeply and unconcerned, enslaved my senses. The afflictions of physical nature were over. However, a certain painless fatigue fell upon me. Remember, he's just discarnated. However, those angelical voices, as they moved happily upwards, happily, as if coddling me, reinvigorating my energies. The moving verses of the songs and the spiritualizing music that floated on the atmosphere caused me unforgettable tears. Hello, Abby Share. So here we are, practicing how to use the main instrument here, vocal cords, with kindness, right? The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round to God. And if you, Brother Jacob, is a little tired, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. You see, we're using, as they're saying, music, songs. It's wise to vibrate in a direction that is harmonious. Leon Denis, the renowned Leon Denis, right, Karina? And we have here our dear Jussar who joined us, and you can find the book After Death in the website, the bookstore of the United States Spiritist Federation website, www.spiritist.us, After Death. Leon Denis, the renowned Leon Denis, he wrote a book that we are like Oh God, please translate this book, translate this book, translate this book. It's about art and spiritism. He uniquely is telling us about the new concept that art and beauty, the true art, true beauty is actually the harmony with God. Harmony, it's pure harmony. So next time we think of beauty, we think of harmony. It's not this static beauty that is just an appearance, but it's this deep vibrating beauty that vibrates this fraternity, this love, this true intention of doing the good. Jussara is saying they will translate it. Hooray for Jussara! Hooray for the Spiritist Federation in the US. That's, oh happy day. Oh happy day, Jussara. Now Jesus walks, oh he walks. Oh happy day. Thank you, Jussara, for sharing the good news. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Andrea, for your kindness. Solange, welcome here. So here we have this beautiful welcoming, the voices of the beyond, receiving the spirits who just discarnated. So next time you think, oh, somebody discarnated, may they be received in this way. Actually, they may be better off than we here. Okay? Many people are graduating, and we say, congratulations, may I also graduate, and who knows, with honors of my conscience. Right? Yes. Sarita is saying that she always wanted to hear her dad speak. Let's talk about it, okay, Sarita? All right. So what had I done in the world to deserve the devotion of my friends and the tenderness of my daughter? You know, it's so funny Brother Jacob is asking this, because we often think we're entitled to all the praises of the world, but when we discarnate, we ask ourselves, what have I done? Right? Hopefully you're going to start asking this here. What have I actually done to receive kudos and praises? Hopefully we're going to be just like Chico, saying, my friends, I have not done anything. And you know, at the end of the day, it's our obligation before God to do the good. Are you disappointed when you get to know of it? Don't be. Because when we do the good, there is a reward in itself. We don't need external praise. You want a thermometer? A good thermometer to see if we're doing the good? There is one measurement, easy. If you ask yourself, am I doing the good? Easy. Do you feel fulfilled? Or do you still need praise and reassurance? Because if you feel fulfilled by doing the task, you're doing the good. If you still need somebody to reassure you or to praise you, no, we're not doing the good yet. We're walking towards it. Okay? So that's a good measure. A good measure. When we do the good, we have the reward in itself. We feel in ecstasy because of our true alignment with God, vibrationally speaking. When we think we're doing the good, but not quite yet, we still need people to tell us, good job, go ahead, do it. And many people are like this, oh, super medium, can you please tell me? No, 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 no. Your conscience tells you. Your feeling tells you. And if you feel good, if you feel rewarded within yourself, we're done. Like Mother Teresa said yesterday, we were reading a message by her. Mother Teresa said, We don't need to worry about numbers of people that we help. We need to actually focus on helping one person at a time, and the nearest to us, and the person nearest to us, the closest person to us. So here we have Brother Jacob saying that he was having all these thoughts, meditating on the festivities of the primitive times of the gospel. I noticed that celestial flock of luminous birds appeared far away, flying to meet us. So he saw almost like birds flying, and he asked, what birds were those? And he couldn't understand. Then he asked Brother Andrade, and Brother Andrade, with an affable smile, clarified, they're not birds, they're children. I'm informed that they would come to our sister M. So remember that when they were traveling, they had people who were more illuminated. Look at this picture. Like, this is a teacher. She conquered her own light. And those apparent birds actually were children volitating, coming to meet her. And a beautiful, exciting reunion. They came to receive her, saying, Mom, Mom. And I noticed that the happy woman, as if touched by inner emotions, had become more radiant and more beautiful, appearing to me that she had a star embedded in her heart. So deep were her feelings that she fell on her knees sobbing. Graceful little girl with bright eyes and auras of light told her that another school much more beautiful was waiting for her in a heavenly park. How can we not weep at these manifestations of tenderness? Saying goodbye joyfully, flanked by little children whom she loved, she prayed with copious tears in her eyes, moving our hearts. In a few minutes, we saw her taking a different course, supported by the friends who followed her from the beginning and by the tender little ones in an illuminated and wonderful group that came back. Our group continued returning. The light which from time to time swept the sky, slowly and sublime, fan-shaped, seemed closer. We began to see charming, spacious villas. From a distance, small committees appeared, waiting for friends. Fraternal embraces were distributed from moment to moment. No new farewell, however, came close to resemble that devoted and unknown teacher. We continued already in a small number when from a group of 4 people on the sidelines my name was spoken aloud. Jacob! Jacob! Oh, he met his friends. Smiling Bezerra paused again on the journey, turned to me, hugged me, and led me to them. The word does not convey the great emotion. Surprised, jubilant, barely containing the weeping of emotion, I uttered a cry of joy. They were Guilherme Ribeiro, who was the president of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, Leopoldo Cerny, who was also another president of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, and Inácio Bittencourt, also one Spiritist who was vice president there, and Luiz Antônio Sayan, who was also the director of the group there, who were friends with him. They embraced me with emotion and affection. They gave me a kind look, and that fulfilled my soul. Now, okay, hold on. Oops. Don't mind me, friends. I'm a little bit goofy here with my transitions. I felt, he says, in the position of the traveler who comes back from afar with his bag full of news. Although the weakness would embarrass me, I would spend hours relating the news of the comrades who lingered in the flash's rear. They did not, however, seem to be interested in collecting information. How naive is it, right? But he's so kind to share with us his willingness to do this. It's like the impulse, like, look, what happened, blah, blah, blah. So one of them, Leopoldo Cirne, spoke of the obstacles that bother us when we discarnated. He added that my case, however, was pleasant and peaceful for the more or less long expectation that I had lived to be an octogenarian man. He lived for 80 years. At that time, it was a big deal. He noted that it had not occurred to him in view of the sudden attack of angina. Guillaume interrupted us in a brief speech. "Let us free Jacob," he said cheerfully. "We'll have time to talk." It hurt me to separate from them when the occasion seemed to be the best for the exchange of impressions. "Oh," I exclaimed in dismay, "when will we see each other again?" And then Guillaume Ribeiro smiled, watching my gesture of anguish. "Well, Jacob, do you forget that you are eternal? Go and rest." That's interesting. The sense of humor, the lightness. Now think, you and I. How about the ones that are there waiting for us and you don't remember anymore? Not people whom you only met here and departed before you. But what about those who know you from many lives, love you very dearly, and have been there supporting us throughout this reincarnation? Let's ask ourselves tonight, are we being easy in their hands? Are we being easy in the hands of the good spirits? Or are we complicating and creating obstacles? Are we awake? That's why we're here in these 21 days to spiritual awakening. How awake are we? The truth is, the decisions we do in our daily lives is what matters the most. I'll give an example. Chico Xavier would not do anything without being aware that he had a spirit mentor, that he had to fulfill God's will. He would not travel, he would not go to anybody's house or talk to anybody without being closely attuned. How often do you do this? I'll give another example. Somebody invites you to go to their home. Do you accept the invitation just because they invited you? Alternative A. B. Do you accept the invitation after consulting your spirit mentor? Or C. None of the alternatives. Just to tease us, but let's cherish this thought. And I'm not joking in that regard. There will be a moment in which we'll be so closely connected with our guardian angels, with the spirit mentors of our spirit centers, that we will consult with them before we actually make decisions. Not because they only know better, but it's a partnership. It's like a child and a parent. A child grows up and like, I'm going to my friend's house. How old are you? 10? I don't think so. What are you going to do? Oh, but Mom. I said, hello, you're 10? I'm in charge? Of course, we're not going to say it this way, but that's how we feel, right? The guardian angels are like the parents. They are tutoring us, and we're not making their lives any easy. So we have been telling all along that in the Spirit's book, there's a beautiful essay explaining how we should approach our guardian angels. St. Augustine says clearly in his statement, ask us any question. You are not going to bother us or tire us with your questions, right? So we really need to do these daily exercises. Like I was told by Mentor Joseph to teach Virginia. Mom, I want to buy this. We're in a store. Say, Virginia, did you ask God if God wants you to buy this? Because remember, the money that is ours can be shared with other people. Why do we feel we are entitled to using this money for ourselves alone and not others? I'm not kidding. This is the rationale. And of course, she's so cute. She's like, God, can I buy this? And then I often ask, what did he say? Yes. And I said, okay, now we need to talk to your dad, because he will tell us if we can buy this now or later. Or mom will find out later, okay? So we need to teach this rationale to kids when they are little. And we need to facilitate the works of the good spirits. Right, Rudy? Seeking the light, feeling the light, visualizing the light, right? Yes. So thank you, Sarita, for sharing your dynamics. I'll read carefully after we finish so we can talk more, okay? 101, all right? Now, Brother Jacob, he then was given an opportunity to rest. And he says here to us, rest. Brother Andrade followed him into a house. He didn't know where he was going to be hosted. He entered a warm house under strong impression of peace and happiness. I want to be there too. It was difficult to determine if I was really far from the earth's circles. The domestic environment was perfect and more accentuated in beauty. Rugs, furniture, ornaments, and lighting were more beautiful and lighter. And although they did display genuine good taste, they did not display luxurious tones. Portraits hung from walls, structured in a semi-luminous substance. A nice and respectable lady received us with inexplicable demonstration of tenderness. My daughter Martha introduced her to me. I embraced her in a transport of indefinable happiness. How not to place her in the unforgettable days of childhood? She was for my daughter as much as for me a second mother. Let us call her Mother Frida, since I'm not authorized to identify her by a higher order. I tried the long conversation, long questions, but I noticed that outside the group in which I had traveled and disconnected from Bezerra's vivifying influence, my fatigue became invincible. Until then, on the long journey, said Martha, I had been sustained in large part by the magnetic operation of the group of my companions. Pause before we wrap up this chapter. First for us, because this is an awakening. This is beautiful and we think, oh, it's a beautiful house in the spiritual realm. It's an invitation for us to customize our homes to be this nucleus of peace, nucleus of happiness for others. Nucleus of peace and happiness for others. Question for us. Do you customize your home so good spirits can count on your ambience as an outpost? Like the book The Messengers. There's a beautiful, beautiful 5 chapters, 33 to 38 or more, in which André Luiz describes the God at Home meeting, or the gospel at home, in the family of this widow and her children. Her husband comes, and many good spirits. So they count on the good ambience of the house, to the good spirits to rest when they are here on the earth doing missionary works during the night. So we often talk, Carlos and I, what can we do to make our homes more peaceful, more joyful, more of a resting place for the good spirits, and also for people who are incarnated visiting us. So when they enter, they feel they are entering a field of fraternity, which is peer support, right? Kindness, friendship. And that is conquered in daily choices. What we watch, what we speak, what we do in the house. Spiritist centers, for example, are fantastic in vibrations because we only do good things there, hopefully. Why not transforming our homes in true temples of God, where not only we can benefit from it, but we can be this beacon of light for other entities as well, for other good spirits, for other incarnate people who need to recharge, etc. And talking about recharge, that's another component we can't forget to highlight as we are awakening to this new understanding. He says he was receiving the magnetic influx and cooperation by Dr. Bezerra, Brother Andrade, and others. The question for us here is, are we still the ones who are depending on people's vivifying, vitalizing energies, or are we the ones who will be supporting others? It's a choice we can make each and every day. He said he tried to keep himself on his feet. However, the dyspnea returned, he felt distressed, and Brother Andrade led me to a vast chamber that the little girl had reserved for me. He opened a large window in which I could see the pale stars of the morning announcing themselves. He settled me on a soft bed, and after applying comforting passes, Brother Andrade fraternally recommended, sleep peacefully. And without knowing how, I surrendered to the rest, delighted and happy. Delighted and happy. This is the end of our chapter today, reminding us of our daily choices. This book is powerful because it makes us revisit our minute choices every day. So let us revisit our homes. Are we customizing, declutter the homes, and customize so also the good spirits can find in your home an outpost for their rest and the rest of those who are in need in the transition to the good works on the earth, and for the incarnates who also need to recharge. Friends, you feeling joyful, empowered, super powerful? Yes, you're a child of God. Remember, we are the children of God. You and I are the children of God. We reincarnated to learn to do good. And for those who are preparing for a reincarnation and are also watching and listening to this webcast, because the discarnates participate, welcome, welcome, dear soul. Now you're here. Let us grow. Let us love. Let us serve. Let us help everyone. A reincarnation may be beautiful in spite of the pains and the struggles, but the joy of growing always, my friends, a big hug of gratitude. Let us do the good works and share the good news. Much love.